Okay, guys, you're probably going to think I made this up, though, too, but look at this, okay? I get very heated when I talk about God and all this. This is the Holy Spirit here. You see all that? Do you guys see that? That's a rash. All over my entire neck, okay? That's God. That's the Holy Spirit, guys. That's not normal. It's because I'm so flushed. I'm so heated as far as passionate about this subject. I get upset. Okay, here's the deal, and I hope I get my message out, but I'm really frustrated because this past year or 2 years or however long it's been, I've been trying to tell people, hey, I'm a messenger. People will say they'll recognize you by your fruits, but they're telling me things that if they recognized me by my fruit, they would never say to me. Or the other day when I asked someone for a song request and they say, well, you know, I listen to Christian music, so are they assuming I don't? This was at the DES office. It makes me wonder what people think about me or homeless people in general. So back to what I was saying. Jesus is the face of homelessness, guys, okay? He makes so many analogies in the Bible as far as, you know, the different parables and stuff, okay? For example, the parable of the Great Samaritan, guys, okay? You got to understand the parables. Yeah, people read the stories verbatim in the Bible and take them for what they are, but the story of the Good Samaritan and how he basically suffered and did without and took money out of his own pocket to make sure that the injured traveler was taken care of. Whereas Lazarus, okay, this is the other parable that was by this man, quote unquote, the church is what I consider it to be, that was well dressed, well fed, but here Lazarus is begging at the door of this well dressed, well-fed man. But he ignores him. He may not even treat him bad, he just ignores him. Or only gives him food between 1:30 and 2 p.m. on Sunday. I mean, come on, guys. Really? That's the person that does the bare minimum that... And guess what ended up to that guy? That thought that, you know, the prosperity gospel existed because he was well-dressed, well-fed, and he looked at Lazarus as being below him. Guess what happened, guys? The first shall be last, the last shall be first. A league of angels came and brought Lazarus' broken, aching, rotting body. He suffered so much, it just carried it up to heaven and put him on the side of Abraham. Whereas the guy who supposedly God smiled down upon, because look at how well dressed he was, guys. Look at how well fed he was. So he must have been doing something right? No. Don't you guys see? If you're doing that, you're going down the wrong path. What ended up happening is he was buried, which means symbolism in the Bible, he went to hell. And he was groveling at the very feet of the person he ignored, at Lazarus' feet, begging him, because he was in the flames of hell, to just put a little drop of water on his finger to put on his tongue. So that's what's going to happen to all of you guys. If you don't heed not just my message, every messenger out there. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of us out here. And we're not perfect. People are like, you can't be a messenger. You drink beer. Oh, please. Wait till I do my video on all that, okay? Jesus and God don't have an issue with beer or with everything in this world in moderation. It's when people use it and abuse it, okay? Or use it and abuse it, whereas somebody did have an addiction or did have an issue with it, to go and flaunt it or drink it in front of that person, that's a sin too. You don't do that. But again, I'm going off on another tangent. So we have these two parables in the Bible. Once again, Jesus comparing himself to being homeless, because not only there were rules back in that day, there were laws that they followed. They had their own island, I believe. Like, they couldn't touch the lepers. They couldn't walk within a certain amount of feet of them. And Jesus didn't care. He didn't listen to what everybody else said. See, like the few people in my life who don't listen to what everybody else says. Jesus not only helped him, he felt sorry for him. He took his face in his hands, and he felt so sorry for him that he healed him. He cured him. You know, so all I have to say, guys, is there are so many examples. I mean, what if the whole point, like, before we die, guys, like, I think, well, maybe Maybe I lost everything and I'm living in this shed, guys, because maybe that is the answer to God's test. Not that we're supposed to lose everything, but to the point where we become humble, to the point where we become dependent upon each other, on others, to the point where we realize what life is truly about. So when you guys feel sorry for me, don't. Because it's not me you should be feeling sorry for. It's not about your job and what kind of car you drive and all this, guys. You're not going to take it to heaven with you. God doesn't care about that. God cares about how you treat one another, how you treat the homeless. I've never been treated so badly in all my life, guys, okay? And I think, what if that's the answer, guys? Then, boy, I feel sorry for the people who aren't getting the point. Okay, because we're all equal in God's eyes, guys. Okay? This was look at the professionally religious person who was dressed well and, you know what I'm saying, had food and everything else. Tell me there's a prosperity gospel. If there is one, it's about love, guys. Love. People are missing the whole point, okay? Religion's not enough, okay? Religious words aren't enough, okay? They're just not. There's gonna be that last judgment, guys. And I don't even think that anybody's scared of it anymore, okay? You know, what was it? I think I wrote it down here. The picture of the Last Judgment. It's Matthew 25:31 through 46. Sorry, I do a lot of reading in the Bible, and well, I don't need to apologize about that, but I think about things, okay? But in that Last Judgment, he puts before us the hungry, the thirsty, aliens, naked, and the sick, okay? And the prisoners. I think there's like 6 different ones, okay? Anyway, the homeless compared to all these because they're all homeless. Everything I just mentioned has to do with being homeless, guys. Do you see how everything centers around being homeless? And people are like, yeah, Jesus was homeless, but when you say that, like, it's like they just let it go in one ear and out the other, guys. Jesus was homeless. So when you treat the homeless people, think about it, like the few people like Sandy or Catherine are the people that really, truly want to help us. Not these few churches, which, by the way, wait till you guys hear what I think is going on as far as some of these churches today and why they're helping people. It's not because they care about the homeless or they want to give to the homeless. When they start putting time limits on food boxes or certain days, or you already got yours for the month, they're doing it to make it look like they care about the homeless so they can get more funding for their church. That's what I believe, guys. And how sad is that? Using us, the people who are so down and out anyway, who society despises, who doesn't care about, to make us basically tortured and suffered and go, have to eat out of a trash can or go panhandle or beg someone for money because we're hungry. Only to make us go sit through their mass or, listen to how, even though we have a down and out life, we're going to hell because, we wore shorts to church. Or have to go sit through it because we're so hungry that we'll do anything just to get some food. No one should have to live through that. Jesus wouldn't have done that, so why do people do it? That's what I don't understand. Jesus did more than just identifying himself with the homeless, okay, guys? He did so much more. He was that good Samaritan or that wounded traveler. I mean, he was that leper. Jesus were those people. That's the point I think that parable was supposed to make. But see, now I'm getting frustrated because I feel like, do you know what it feels like to be fighting a battle for so long, or to be wanting people to win, to want people to listen to this message, and nobody is? I wish that people didn't take me as a joke. I hope that not all of you do, but I'm not crazy, guys. I'm not a joke. This is very real, and I take this very seriously, guys, because Jesus is all I have, okay? But he said, leave all behind and follow me. You must be as humble. You must be as, relying upon God as a small child. That's what it says in the Bible, guys. That's who, can inherit the kingdom of heaven. Anyway. It just saddens me so much because, do you see the symbolism I showed you guys today? Do you? And how few people actually even give us the time of day, or even the people that come over. Like, how many of you, for example, have come over here and visited me in my shed? What, are you two above that? Or will be seen walking down the street in public with me, or are proud enough to take help from me, but when I'm hungry and need a sandwich, they're too busy or they don't pick up their phone. Just stuff like that, guys. And you don't owe me anything. None of you owe me anything. But if Jesus is saying, this is the way to heaven, your service, because that's what I believe, guys. People are like, you're homeless. How could you help me? Believe you me, I can, and I do. Because that's what God called of us. That's what I believe. Anyway. That's all I have to say. I lost my train of thought. It just comes to me and I get like these rashes or these lights, or the birds have been coming to me. I mean, it's crazy. Call me crazy, guys, but something's talking to me. Something is telling me to get my message out there. But if everyone considers me a laughing stock or crazy or on drugs or just a kook, who's going to listen to me? That's what I pray to God for every day. That's what I pray to God about every day. What's funny are these people that try to lecture me on certain things I should read or this or that. Instead of saying, hey, I found this nice reading, it's like they're talking down to me. If they only knew where I stand or what my role is as far as the end of the world and the fighting of the evilness, the municipalities we're going to be fighting. Excuse me. Anyway. Do you see how frustrating it is, guys? But like Jesus said, just remember, they hated me long before they hated you. But the hate is just so bad. I can't say that I'd compare it to the suffering that Jesus went through, but I've suffered. To be shunned by people that I thought were my friends, that I thought loved me, even my own family, it hurts. So thank you to the strangers who've shown me more kindness than most churches have. Thank you. This is Jordan from Jordan's Journey signing off. Everybody have a very happy New Year and a blessed day. God bless you.